Hey everybody, I'm back with another video about resiliency and buoyancy and how we can counter bullying by being resilient and buoyant. And recently there was a video that went viral. It was the Victoria's Secret video. What I've learned is that bullies want to steal your energy. They want to siphon your energy. And they do that very easily and simply by making sure that you don't bounce back. And first of all, the number one tip is to remain buoyant. So with your bouncy, bubbly, brilliant personality that you have, you want to start off on that foot always. So you want to just always go into a situation with that buoyancy. Okay, now naturally, because of the control and everything lately, they're going to want to snuff that out of you. They're going to want to beat you down as soon as they see the buoyancy. They hate that. A lot of people will hate that part of our spirit. So what do you want to do basically when this happens? When you start in, let's say you walk into a store or you line up at a counter at the mall to buy something, and there's other girls around and they're not like us, and they instantly start to give you looks. You know, oh, they look at your dress, they may whisper something to their friend, and you know instantly you've got a bully possibly that could possibly say something or do something to you or steal your energy or ruin your time. So identify the threat. Number two, what you're going to do is make sure you get what you want. So you went in there to order something, right? So order something, do the thing that you wanted to do. If that person, you know, if you step up to the counter, it's your turn, and that person doesn't want to move out of the way, they want you to say, excuse me, and then get into an altercation, just move slightly to the side. Show them that you don't want to fight, but more so, you know, you're still going to get what you want, which is ordering at the cashier. So start ordering and keeping track of what they're doing. If they're, you know, analyzing them basically before they analyze you, because this is a fight and this is a spiritual war, and I just want to help people, like, you know, tone up to where it's at. So then once you're ordering it, you step to the side, they're staring at you still and giving looks and everything like that. This is the part that is pivotal. So step number 4, find something you love, whether it's something you're wearing, maybe it's the necklace you have, maybe it's your nail polish, maybe it's the person you're with, maybe it's an idea or a dream or a goal in your mind. And for guys, for the princes out there, that's for you too. It's like, think of a goal that you love, or a car that you love, or something that excites you, and start thinking about that and actually enjoy it in the moment. This is like the solid tip right here, is to actually enjoy yourself while the bully is there trying to take it from you. Get your drink or whatever you're ordering at the counter and start to sip on it and enjoy it while the bully is there. And you'll see that your happiness is so much stronger. Your love and your spirit actually is stronger than them, and you have that resiliency. Even though they're there, that doesn't mean you cower or hide or go behind the person you're with, or, you know, go to a different kiosk place, like counter place. Number 6 is optional, okay? This only is to use if they start to say something to you, to harass you, to provoke you. This is where we have to worry about certain people taking out their phones to film. And I want to help younger girls that don't know this, or girls who suffered neglect, or people that just aren't aware of this. You won't be taught this in school, but I am here to teach you, princesses, okay? Here's what you do. So when they've taken their phone out to record you and they're starting to provoke you, what you want to do is ignore them. Yes, just like in the Bible that told us that ignore the demons. If there's a demon, the best thing you can do is to ignore it. Well, yes, you can cast it out, or, you know, say a non-consent statement in the name of Jesus Christ, but, like, honestly, like, the best thing to do is just ignore the demon. If you ignore it, its power weakens and it's gone. That's what you need to do regarding women or other men that are trying to attack you. Going back to what I was saying is, like, you need to remember that your love is so powerful. So in that moment, while that person's got the camera recording you and they're also provoking you and harassing you, this is your cue, okay, to not do anything. Especially, this is a good tip if you just put your head up high and smile. Don't reply to anything they say. So if they're like, you want to cut in front of me, you prissy girl, or like whatever they say, I don't really know, don't say anything. Just stand there with your head held high and your energy centered and knowing who you are and what you stand for, and that you are here for love, and they're just there to bully you. They're there to take you down. And then obviously step number 7, leave when you're satisfied. So when you're satisfied by the drink, you got your thing, just leave. Don't engage with this person. Keep remembering what you came there for. Did you come there to get a drink or to buy something? You didn't come there to fight with that girl. That girl wants to fight with you, but that doesn't mean you're there to fight with her. And in defense, you know, you could say something like, that's very rude, and just walk away or something like that, and that sums it all up. So that's pretty good. Just don't engage with them. Don't be affected. Don't start shaking. Don't cry. To discharge the energy, if it's very bad, you might want to laugh after you leave. If it really helps if the person you're with knows all this stuff with trauma too, but there is energy to discharge in that. You might want to punch the air, you know, after you leave, or you might want to laugh, or you might want to cry, or you might want to do something, but try to avoid doing that in the moment. But I mean, I actually take that back. Maybe you can still discharge the energy in the moment. If that person is making you shake, like let yourself go through the motions, but then you might want to hold your head up high and smile. They hate that. They don't want to see you staying tall, being pretty, feeling brave, feeling confident, getting what you want. They want to prevent you from buying the thing that you wanted. They want to just make your day miserable. So if you can go on doing that, then you've done it. And number 8, congratulations, you have won, because you didn't grovel in submission, you didn't have your freedom taken away because you had a good time, you discharged the energy, and you bounced back. I think I got a little bit off track with the resiliency, but when you're buoyant and you're resilient, it's easier if you're like, you know, fighting and you're on your tiptoes to punch forward or punch back, not like physically but mentally, to be able to, you know, shake it off and keep going. Want me to do that again? Shake it off and keep going. And that shakes it off, and that discharges some of the energy, so you're not left with all this, you know, dangerous energy to discharge later on, because that's what they really want. They want to siphon your energy, and they want to infiltrate you with toxic shame as well. And I'll do a whole video on shame too, because they want to make you feel like you're privileged. They want to give you all these lies to believe, like one of them being that somehow you have something better than them and they have it worse off than you, and oh no, because of that you should basically let them piggyback on you. That's not true. That's a lie. And they'll inject you with shame because you're not complying with their lying, and that's wrong. So you have to remember that you need to discharge the shame too, and I'll get into this more. I feel like I'm being very vague, so I'll get into this again. But yeah, if you make sure you discharge the energy and you're just like, no, I have nothing to be ashamed of. I'm having a good time, and I have a right to be here. Remember your rights, okay? If this helps, use this. Keep telling yourself, I have a right to be here. I have a right to have fun. I have a right to play with my hair. I have a right to look cute. I have a right to be beautiful and classy and elegant and brave. I have a right to get my drink and sip on it while this person is yelling at me but not even care. I have a right to not even take in the energy. Find anything you can to like enjoy yourself in that moment. Like, oh, I'm holding this person's hand, or like, oh, that, you know, my friend has such nice sunglasses, or like, oh, look at the sign. And as they're yelling at you, just like focus on all of those things and just enjoy your time, and then you have won. Congratulations, step 8, you have won. So I hope that helps. I'll give you an example of when I had a bullying experience like this. So I have many. This is just one of very many. So in 2018 September, I went to go see Into the Spider-Verse movie. Sitting in the reclining chairs, I freaked out a little bit because I'm like, I know my foot's gonna fall asleep in this movie because I have insulin resistance and that kind of leads to lack of circulation. But anyway, so I decided, you know what, I'm gonna recline this chair and just see how far back it goes. I did that, and the girl behind me, she snapped at me. She's like, can you not do that with your chair? She was definitely a different spirit expression than I, and so my gentle spirit was different than hers. She was more of an aggressive, feminist, angry, masculine, defensive, or like offensive person. I understand that me putting my chair back might have been a little naive, but good on me for staying childlike, because I'm going to get into that too sometime, about how to stay childlike and be let your inner child always stay with you. And so I put my chair back and the girl said that to me, and I was like, oh, sorry, and I put it back, and I could just tell she was like, after, you know, like, what I shouldn't have said sorry, and I should have left my chair like that. And I was so upset because I knew that I'd be tortured the whole movie by my foot falling asleep. It was my day off. I did not want to get into a fight with somebody. And I knew that if I said anything back, that girl would start a huge fight, and it would be like one of those movie theater fights that you see in movies that, you know, the people stand up and everyone's like, shh, the movie's starting. So it's the worst place to get into a fight or altercation, because you can't exercise your powers of freedom without getting into a fight and starting a war, because you're defending your rights of freedom. So anyway, so my boyfriend was just like, baby, what happened? Are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. And I just broke down crying. I stayed crying the entire movie quietly. Had I cried loudly, I would be called and labeled a Karen for having my freedoms infringed upon, but yet having a physical health issue, yeah, it's one of those chairs that are angled in a way that you're like up, like your legs go up a bit and then hang over the chair, and like if you push it back, your legs are more straight, and that's what I was trying to achieve so my feet don't fall asleep, because usually the chairs are more upright. When I'm upright, my circulation is fine, but when it's like back like that and I'm like sinking into the chair, and I wish I could have told her that, but it would have totally started a fight, and I'd be labeled a Karen just because of who I am, number one, and number two, because I feel like it's unfair and they're taking away my freedom to have my legs moving, which is I was scared, like, I don't know, I was like, am I gonna get a blood clot? Like, I was just thinking of all these different things happening to me in the movie, and just crying, and I felt my foot falling asleep too. What I should have done was put my chair back and let that girl cause a big issue and not even reply to it, you know, not even, just enjoy the movie. It's a reclining chair. It's meant to be reclined, and also I have every right to recline it back as she does her chair, you know, and she has every right to find a different spot if I am not a good match for that spot to her, you know what I'm saying? And I know it would be tricky to do, like, especially for people like us that are trying to exercise our powers, but still being a little rusty on it. I know it can be really intimidating to just think like, oh, you can actually do that, but yes, you can, and yes, you should. And if that girl starts some issue, people will be like, you should get out of the, like, tell her, like, people around her will be like, can you leave, because you're the one raising your voice. If this girl right here who wants to put her chair back doesn't cause a scene, most likely the people will get on her case and say, you need to just go find a different chair, you know. We came in after though, so I do understand how it's kind of just like, okay, we sat in front of her, but anybody can recline their chair. There's freedom in that, okay? Like, it's meant to be reclined for something. So having that resilience to bounce back, and I wish I had resilience in that moment so I could just, you know, enjoy the movie instead of crying through the whole thing. And if I knew this tip sooner, and if I knew why this girl was, you know, hating on me, it's not just the fact that the chair went back, it's the fact that I know my rights of freedom, and she does not like to see people like me free. And she wants to make sure that we're put in our place and we do not say anything, that we just submit and take their SHIT. And so if I were to redo that situation, I would have just, you know, not let that happen that way, and left my chair the way it was and ignored her, because that's all that you can do. And don't do anything, you know, just have fun, enjoy the movie. And like, also that's the point of it, is like, you don't recline your chair but then you're like, oh no, like the whole movie, like, is she gonna get mad at me, can I eat my popcorn? No, enjoy that popcorn, enjoy it just as if she wasn't there. Like, enjoy the popcorn and the taste of it and everything as if she wasn't even there to begin with. That's really difficult, but you just gotta focus on the love that you have inside of you, and that is stronger than any demonic attack like this and any kind of, you know, almost bullying, abusive, I can't say the whole thing, attack like this one is. So that's a real good tip. I have so many other bullying stories. If you guys are interested, I will definitely do more. But in any situation that you come across, use these steps, okay, that I've outlined on the screen to help you exercise your powers and take your power back and hold on to it, and with love and with nurturing, and not even be needing to get mad. You can literally debate and fight with somebody like that and defend your opinion and your stance without even getting mad about it, without even raising your heart rate. And if you know these tips, it's just excellent, especially for people like us that are highly at risk of being attacked nowadays, attacked, illegally recorded without our consent, and also gaslit and harassed, provoked, you know, a multitude of other crimes that are done against people like us as well, such as gang violence, jumping, breaking into vehicles or destroying of vehicles, and possessions and things like that. There's so many things. It's good to just know why it happens, okay, what to do when it happens, and how to have a good life, albeit that these things are happening still. So that's kind of what I wanted to share with you today with resiliency. Hope this wasn't too long, but you gotta bounce back, be buoyant, you know, wiggle around, find what feels right for you. That's what I was trying to do with the chairs in the movie theater. And don't be afraid or ashamed of being yourself, having your own opinion, having an alternative view, and also standing your ground. Because you gotta stand your ground nowadays, and you have to still have fun while you do it. And that's the challenge. But once you master this, you'll be able to have fun without people bullying you, without getting the bad toxic energy from it. Total hack. I really hope this helps you. Women especially are at risk of having lower progesterone levels, not being able to carry a baby full term, based on the fact that they're infiltrating us with cortisol from our everyday situations, these stressful PTSD, T-matic, I can't say the whole word on YouTube, but T-matic situations in which we, like, you know, our fertility is at risk because of the high cortisol levels of these people and these situations in which we can exercise our own freedoms and be feminine and innocent and pure and, you know, blissful and in the moment and happy. And they're making it so hard for us to just be happy. Even that situation with the Victoria's Secret, I don't know if I can do a video on that, I'd get real backlash, but even in that situation, the girl had no, the girl in the video, on video, was gaslit so hard, and she didn't know what to do. And I feel so bad for her, and honestly, her life is probably now ruined based on that video. But yeah, okay, for the last thing I just wanted to say is what I did wrong before, and what a lot of us do wrong. The onset of someone bullying us, the minute they say something, we grovel, we submit, our mood is shot down, and we deem it, oh, this is ruined now, it's ruined. When really it's not ruined, it's a challenge, a fight, a blow, a punch in which you can block and punch back. And if you know that, then you can use it. And a lot of the time we'll feel like the minute people bully us, that's it. Like the minute they bully us, our day is ruined or whatever like that, when really you can just, you know, you can turn it around and have that buoyancy and everything. A very nasty person in my past who was an extreme bully and manipulative used to tell me, like, she was friends with someone I was friends with. It was a very messy situation, but this girl would constantly tell me that I'm fat and ugly, and it would be like constant. If I wanted to hang out with my friend, the other girl had to come along. We'd go to a restaurant together, for example, and we'd be looking at the menu, and I hear this girl saying, "You're fat. You know, you're fat. You know, you're fat. You're ugly. You're so ugly." And it would stop for a while, and I'd be like, I'd ignore it. This is like my angel training, okay, princesses? This is my training at the very beginning, and I'm sharing it with you. And I had to go through training to be able to become the person I am today and be strong like this. Now, I was a few years older than her. We're different by blood and by culture. She took it upon herself to fill my head with, you're gross, you're gross, you're like, you're fat, you're ugly, you're ugly. I wasn't super pretty back then. I actually dressed sort of like a boy sometimes, like to protect myself, because I didn't want people to see my femininity, and I didn't want them to see the precious parts of me, so I'd hide it. That's all I knew. I just knew, like, people are gonna eat me alive. I need to just like hide my treasure. We should not live like that, and we should fight against it, because that's not okay to live like that. Anyway, so I wouldn't really let it internalize me, but it got so annoying. It was just like she wouldn't stop, and I kind of didn't really know what to say back. And after a while, it just like, after hours passed of hearing that, it would just get so tiring. Then she'd start kicking me under the table, you know, kicking my knee, kicking my legs, and I'd be like, stop. Like, it would just be like a constant attack. And yes, the person I was with, you're like, well, why did you stay with this person? Well, like as a friend. And I'm like, well, we were best friends, so we'd be staying at my friend's house, and this girl would come and start throwing things. She'd open the door and start throwing things at me. And it's kind of bad, because like, how do you report someone that's like younger than you, even by a few years? It's just, at that age, it's just like, how do you do that, right? This girl, like, what's the word? She tormented me. I said it out loud. I'm like, this girl is tormenting me to my friend, and my friend wouldn't do anything. She was just like, oh, you're like, really? Because, you know, you're you know, Western kind, and that girl is not like you, and so because she's not like you and she's underprivileged, you are therefore, you know, arist for wanting to defend yourself. Are you kidding me? Like, that is the biggest load of BS I've ever heard in my life. And this is happening to many people. And so I'm basically arist if I tell this girl to stop doing what she's doing, and I say it's wrong. So this went on for like a very long time, like I would say a few years, 2 years maybe. She would take my makeup and I wouldn't know where it went. It just disappeared. And then later find it in amongst that girl's belongings, and the girl would be like, no, I didn't take it. Like, it was very hard to deal with. And so there was this one point where we all went into a store, and the funny thing was that it felt inescapable at one point, where college was the only way I could separate from these people, or this group of people. When I went to college, I finally was able to like run away from it all. And I remember getting accepted into college, and it was my last summer hanging out with these people. And I remember going into this grocery store and thinking, nothing, like, college will not be hard in any way, because nothing is harder than this. Nothing is harder than dealing with this bully, because anything can be easier, and anything will be easier than dealing with this bully. College is going to be amazing, and I am going to have freedom. And yes, I was scared to be without my best friend in college, when you're so close to somebody and then you can't be, but like, it separated me from the toxicity, and I was able to grow as a person. I was able to change. I was able to drain out the toxicity out of my body. And I did go back to those friend group like once or twice, and when I did, I had to hide all of my belongings. Like, I couldn't bring my belongings around that girl, because she would steal it, or it would make her mad. Like her jealousy would, like if she saw me having some shoes, like some nice shoes, like high heels, pink ones or something like that, she would get aggressive. Like it would make her aggressive. Or if she saw like this earring that's swinging, if she saw that, it would make her aggressive and she'd start to like get out of control, which is so weird, right? Princesses like us, ladies, do not want to compete. True princesses like Belle, Ariel, Megara, I'm missing a bunch. Belle, Ariel, Megara, Snow White. True princesses don't need to compete. We don't need to fight one another. We stand in our power together. We hold hands and stand together as ourselves. And this relates a lot to Plentiful Soul and Girl Defined and that whole thing happening with the feminist and the leftist trying to take down Plentiful Soul and call her privileged and all this. It totally takes me back to the days when I was being bullied like that. It's called narcissism to make yourself smoothie bowls and love yourself and make beautiful, artful videos for other people to follow. Being a hippie is apparently narcissism. It's like crazy. It's just because they want to take away role models for us princesses to have. It's true. So yeah, I did a whole other video on this, or 2 videos, so I'm gonna leave that for that. Right now it's August 8th at 3:56 a.m. Unfortunately, when it does come down to bullies, you kind of have to have some kind of tact to escape them and survive them. But if you exercise the right kinds of tacts, you can survive the bully and enjoy your life at the same time. In my wildest dreams back when I was being bullied, I would never think that I could still have a good life. And sometimes actually you just have to leave. Sometimes there's no other way to survive a bully than to just leave. You know, the best way is exiting instead of holding on and trying to make something work that's crumbling in front of you. You have to leave. You have to balance. It really does help to have a separation of your possessions, because it's like I have a university degree to go do right now, and like less and less contact will bring me to peace. So there's always a way out of the situation. There's always a way to run away out of the situation and leave the situation. So I hope this helps, and yeah, talk to you guys later. I hope you like this video, and thank you for watching. I'm loving doing these videos and talking about what I know now and how to help other people with it, how to help other princesses with it. So yeah, take care all you princes and princesses. Bye everybody! When I was just a child, I knew something was wrong. Something about this world, the magnetic pull so strong. Fighting the forces of evil from a young age. It was inevitable that I'd be saved. They want to take away my innocence, innocence. They want to make me full of bad regrets, bad regrets, bad regrets. They want to sit and watch me burn. They want to teach me what I need to. They want to take away my innocence, innocence, innocence. They want to take away